Rogers' therapeutic approach appeared in his 1942 book Counseling and Psychotherapy. He developed this concept of self as an organizing element in human personality and the principle of non-directive or client-centered therapy. He developed this one when he was interacting with his client in a therapeutic settings. He published Client-Centered Therapy on Becoming a Person, Person to Person. These are the books published by Rogers. His theory is also known as self theory or person-centered theory because it relies more on self or the person. It keeps person at the center of its theory and develop the theory in a holistic way. His theory grew out of his own experience in working with individual in a therapeutic relationship. He was the most influential therapist in 20th century. He mainly talks about phenomenology. Phenomenology is like experience which a person derives based on experience of an individual through his feelings, values, or what we call the inner life of an individual. Based on the inner life or the experience of an individual, he tried to construct this theory. The two important or two fundamental ideas Rogers talked about healthy development of personality in terms of how individuals perceive their own being. Healthy individuals will tend to see congruence between their self of who they are and who they feel they should be. Like real or actual self or ideal self. We'll try to understand what is real self and ideal self. Then if there is a congruence, if there is a harmony between actual self and the ideal self, then the individual will lead a psychologically healthy life. Actual self is actually what the individual is, and the ideal self is what an individual wanted to be. If there is what you call this incongruence, then there will be a maladjustment in individual personality. If there is a congruence between self, actual self and ideal self, then there will be a psychologically healthy personality. The concept of conditions for healthy growth and the role of therapist in fostering healthy growth. Look, in fostering a healthy personality, he stress more role of a therapist. Therapist create a conducive condition or environment by providing empathy, openness, and unconditional positive regard. Means a therapist do not like to criticize the client. Without criticizing, by giving a positive regard, he's going to make a client comfortable to express his own feelings and thoughts. He called this technique as non-directive therapy. Therapists mainly reflect on the individual's thoughts and feelings. The three most important aspects of this theory are the enduring aspects of personality, self-actualization, which we know in the earlier class, and the development of self. The enduring aspects of personality. The main aim of this theory is to explain the growth and development of an individual. So to understand the growth and development of an individual, he used to construct. The first one is the organism and the self. Organism, it's a study of persons. It's a phenomenological and ideographic. In a sense, understanding an individual through his experiences or through his inner life, or treating every individual as a unique. So this is the base on which he tried to understand individual personality. The core of man's nature is essentially positive. Look, he says every individual is born with certain positiveness or innate ability or awareness. So this theory is entirely different from Freudian theory because it focuses mainly on darker aspects of individual personality. It stresses more on unconsciousness, hidden desires, and the bitter or better experience of an individual. All those things will determine individual personality in psychodynamic theory. When it comes to Rogers' theory, he says that at the core, every individual has got something positive, he has got some ability to be positive, or he has got ability to achieve self-actualization. Organism is the locus of all experience. He used organism and the self as a construct to understand the individual personality. So if you want to understand the organism, you have to understand the experiences which an individual undergoes, including everything potentially available to awareness at a given time. He talks about the phenomenal field. Phenomenology or phenomenal field refers to experience which an individual gains. The experience is mainly conscious as well as unconscious experiences. Person accepts these experiences as true representation of reality, while in reality they may not be the true representation. Person may develop misconception about himself or herself and about the external world. A self, according to Roger, self is very much organized and it is consistent. It is not like changing every time. It is organized and consistent. It mainly refers to one's picture of oneself, what I am. Look, there are two types of self, real self and the ideal self. Real self is the actual self, and it is created through the actualizing tendency. It's the inner aspect of an individual, while the ideal self is mainly created through the demands of society. Like there is a difference between this. Real self talks about the inner actualizing tendency, while the ideal self mainly develops with the demand of society, because of the demands of society, ideal self develops. Congruity and incongruity. Congruence in a sense, in harmony, like when self and the organism are said to be congruent, when the individual is believed to be adjusted, mature, and fully functioning. Congruency in a sense, it's a harmony. When there's a perfect harmony between self and the organism, these are the two constructs he uses to understand the individual personality. When these two things are in harmony, there will be a healthy, mature, and well-functioning personality. When there is an incongruency between self and the organism, there will be malfunctioning in a personality or a maladaptive behavior. In case of incongruency in individual, when the self and the organism, if there is incongruency, when there is incongruence between the self and the behavior, in that condition, we find individual is getting on a defensive mode. He will not be open for experience, and he mainly uses self-defense mechanism. Like even in Freudian theory, we use the term defense mechanism. Defense mechanism is the way we defend our ego. In that sense, here we tend to use a defense mechanism when there is a incongruence between self and organism. See, he refers to two types of mechanisms. One is distortion and denial. Distortion of reality occurs when the individual perceives a threat to their self-concept. Threat may be real or imagined threat. Their personality, when a person keep on using the defense mechanism, then there are chances of personality getting disorganized or irrational behavior or getting neurotic. Neurotic is a maladaptive behavior, or what do you call this? Yeah, you can call it as a maladaptive behavior or a mild mental disorder. Yes. Then psychological maladjustments exist when the organism denies awareness of significant sensory or visceral experience. Look, if we accept our life experiences, then there will not be any problem. When we deny our life experience, when there is incongruence between organism and the self, when there is incongruence between self and the experience, there will be maladaptive behavior or psychological maladjustment. Then the second part of this theory is self-actualization. Self-actualization is mainly realizing one's own potential, true potential. Human organism has an underlying actualizing tendency. He says every organism is born with the tendency to realize oneself. The aim is to develop the capacities in ways that maintain or enhance organism and move it towards autonomy. In this, self-actualization is the realizing one's ability and moving towards autonomy or freedom. This tendency is directional. In a sense, it moves in an upward direction and it's constructive. And he says it is present in all living things. And it encompasses all motivation, tensions, needs, drive reduction, and creative, as well as pleasure-seeking tendencies. Only the organism as a whole has this tendency. See, I told you there are two types of construct he uses in this theory. One is organism and the other one is self. Organism, he says only the organism has got the tendency for self-actualization and not the self. And the goal or the aim of life is to realize oneself or self-actualization. Then the third component, he deals with the development of self, how an individual self develops. Freud thinks of development of personality in stages, how a personality develops in certain stages. But Rogers did not explain the personality development in stages or steps. Rather, he emphasizes more on phenomenology or the experience, the life experiences, the mainly inner experiences, conscious as well as unconscious experience. He emphasized that the importance of congruence between the self of the person and his experience in the development of personality. If the self has to be developed, there has to be a harmony or a congruence between self and his inner experience. If we are taught to have a self concept that does not match what we actually experience, we are going to have difficulty. As I told earlier, when there is a mismatch between self concept and experience, there will be some maladjustment, some problems in personality. The greater the discrepancy between a self and experiences, greater the maladjustment and anxiety. Rogers also suggests that if there is a large self-experience discrepancy, the defensive system may be unable to handle anxiety. It may break down and results in disorganization of personality. See, what he says is, when there is a lot of conflict or incongruency, when there is lack of synchronous between self and experiences of an inner experiences of individual, then there is more likely for the disorganization of personality. There are more chances of individual getting some mild or major mental disorders. He says each have got direct experiences. Everybody has got experience with both pleasure and pain. It takes into account both experiences consist of both pleasure as well as pain. And everybody has got the need to be loved and respected as individuals. As we seen in Maslow's hierarchy, we got a lot of needs, physiological needs, social needs, and there is a need for positive regard. Means uh, we always expect people to treat us in a positive manner. Even our parents tend to be the primary source of love and affection, and it is desperately important to maintain their goodwill. A famous sociologist, he says, families are the factories which produce human personality. He says that because families are very important in influencing or molding the personality of an individual. If there is something, some maladjustment or something in a family, that will be reflected in individual personality, and individual derives love, affection, everything from parents or from family. So it is desperately important, he says, it is desperately important to maintain their goodwill. In a sense, it is inevitable for an individual, for human beings to live with love and affection. If he lacks love and affection from parents, then there will be some psychological disorders. We want them to praise us, say that we are good. It's like positive regard, and express positive feelings towards us. When we do something they dislike and they let us know it, the experience is painful one, we try to alter our behavior to get back in their good grace. Rogers recognized the three crucial points for the parents to keep in mind with regard to development of the self. The first thing is, and every child has got the need to be recognized and accepted. So it's if parents recognize and accept the feelings of the children, then then there is no problem. When the feelings and emotions are not recognized or accepted, then there will be some sort of anxieties or a neurosis. And the second thing is, the mother should avoid threatening the child with the most threatening punishment of all, loss of love or withdrawal of positive self-regard. Even in this case, child may develop mild mental disorders or anxiety. The third aspect, the hostile behavior must be clearly and unmistakably rejected and prevented. Hostile behavior towards the child should be avoided. These are the three aspects which are necessary for the these are precautions which should be taken into consideration with regard to development of child's personality. Then the evaluation of Rogers theory. It is also known as person-centered therapy approach or a client-centered approach. It found wide application in various domains such as psychotherapy, counseling, organization, and other group settings. Rogers' greatest contribution is in encouraging a humane and ethical treatment of persons. Look, he is not a reductionist. When we look at other theories like stimulus response theory of Skinner's, he reduced the whole personality or learning to stimulus and response. But in his case, he take into consideration the whole aspect of an individual. He treat an individual in a humane and an ethical manner, and he believes that every person has got the innate tendency for self-actualization. And psychologists criticized his phenomenology as a naive phenomenology. And he was also criticized for ignoring unconscious determinants of behavior. He only looked at the conscious aspect and he totally neglects unconscious aspects which determine human behavior. In case of Freud, he says human behavior or personality is mainly determined by unconscious aspects. So his theory was also criticized for giving a superficial explanation. They say it deals only with the surface issues and does not explore the deeper areas of individual selves. This theory, it is regarded as a self theory or a person-centered theory or a non-directive therapy, because it relies more on self or person in explaining how individual self develops. Even in the process of therapy, the person is given more important, and it has given much importance for phenomenology or the inner experiences, feelings and desires of an individual. And it also explain how the existence of self, the real self and the ideal self. When there is a conflict between this, there'll be maladjustment in personality. Then we discussed how enduring aspects of personality. What are the consistent aspects of personality? The construct, organism, and the self. Based on this, he explained his theory of personality, and he also explained self-actualization. The innate, every individual has got the innate tendency to develop, to have an awareness of himself, or to realize his true potential. And we also discussed how the self develops. For development of self, there is a need for a positive regard. We have to be appreciated, and all the needs, all the physiological or sociological needs, need for love, recognition, when these things are met, then we can expect the development of self. Any questions?
The